Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. It is me, BrittReacts, and today we're going to react to more from the Joe Rogan podcast because I like the Joe Rogan podcast and I find it entertaining. Judge your mama, not me. Anywho, this is Joe reacting to Senator, who the senator is, I don't know yet, saying men and women are equals in sports. Let's find out more about this.
There was some lady who was just arguing that there's no biological difference between men and women. I'm gonna send you this, Jamie, because it's so kooky. You're like, come
Doctor
on.
Who?
You can't really
Doctor
think
Who.
that this is true. This is
No biological difference?
there's no difference between men and women's strength. Pennsylvania state senator
There we
said
go.
there's no biological advantage for men in women's sports or disadvantage for women in men's sports.
That's a woman?
A woman said this. This is so crazy. I just sent it to you, Jamie. It's so kooky. You're like, come on. Look, I know you want to believe this, but if you're going to be on TV saying things, it has to make some kind of fucking sense.
Female
Just a
bodies
little.
are just as strong, as fast and capable as male bodies. I want all girls to know that there are elected officials like me who would never underestimate your ability to beat a boy at their own sport. Because that's
To beat a boy at their own sport. Okay, girl. Okay, this is who y'all are talking about when you say the Dems that are like far left. This is a far left. This is a leftist. This is one of those. Then when y'all say they, she is the they. Her pronoun is they. She's the one. Because girl, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, it's just that simple. Science, time and a time and a time and a time and a time and again will tell you, of course, there's biological differences. Of course, men and women have different levels of strength. Like, what? It's literally, I can't. We don't have to go back and forth on this. I get it. I get it on her. She's trying to be inspirational for girls and say you can do anything that a boy can do and you can play football if you want to. Yeah, you sure can. You absolutely can. Anyone can do anything they want to do. Put your mind to it. It can be done. But to say biologically, cuckoo.
underestimate your ability to beat a boy at their own sport. Because
She
that's
means
what the
every
premise
word
of
of
this
this.
bill assumes, that female bodies are less than male bodies. For what reason, other than political gain, are we spending time and taxpayer dollars on a completely made-up issue? So female bodies are just as strong.
That's so crazy
What
to
guy
say.
hurt her?
Well,
What guy
she just
hurt her?
got caught up in the woke bullshit. She lives in an echo chamber, probably. All the people around her are all either in academia or in some sort of left-wing fucking ideology, and they really believe that. And they believe that you
She
should
believes
say that.
every word.
Because if you're not saying that, and you're saying women are less than men.
Right.
That's not what anybody's saying. Strength and speed and athleticism is not all of life.
Well, you made the point. There's men that are less than men in different areas.
Yeah.
Of course.
They're called coders. They're out there. Like, they're incels. They're online. They're
Oh.
making apps.
Oh.
There's a lot of different roles for
They're
people in this. Like, it
making
doesn't make
apps?
you a man just because you can run faster than everybody
Right,
else. But
right,
to say that
right.
men can't run faster than women is just, you're denying statistics and science and all the information.
Isn't it also like a literal double negative that she said you can beat a boy at his own sport? If that's the case, then boys don't have their own sports, right? If we're speaking in the terms that she's speaking in, then she just shot herself in the foot by saying like, girls, you can play any boy sport. It's like, there are no boy and girl sports, girl. It's a free for all. Like, listen. We just gotta relax with like the extremism of it all. Yes, teach your daughters they are strong. Yes, teach your daughters they can do anything they want to do. And in the same token, teach your boys the same thing, right? You can do anything you want to do. But there is also factual scientific proof that men are biologically wired and produced and they are more often than not bigger and stronger. Not always, but more often than not. Can a woman grow to be bigger than a man? Yes. Can a woman grow to be stronger than a man? Yes. But biologically speaking and statistically speaking, and this whole notion that like, why are we trying to teach our girls to be better than anybody or stronger? It's like, just be the best version of yourself. Like, why is it always like, you can do, it's like, just be the absolute best version of yourself in whatever way that looks. If it's smarts, if it's athletics, if it's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, whatever it is. You're like, your only competition is you. And if you teach your children that, then they will always want to level up against themselves. And everybody else is just there. But this whole like, we are equal and boys and girls are strong together. Just like, is everybody okay? Are we all okay? What's happening? What is happening? I'm sorry. It infuriates me.
That men can't run faster than women is just, you're denying statistics and science and all the information that we have gathered forever. We have so much data. High school 15-year-old boys beat the women's soccer team, the professional team.
This is true.
So shut the fuck up. This is stupid to say. It's not transphobic, homophobic.
Right,
it's not genderphobic. It's not misogynistic. It's just a fact of physical nature.
But also, if you hit the pinnacle, the fight's over. Do you know what I mean? If you just go like, women's sports is highly attended, it's given the same amount of TV time as men's sport and everything. It's like, yeah, not enough.
Not really.
Like now I want to be in men's sports also.
That's the craziest one, when the WNBA players won as much money as the NBA players. So the NBA actually generates extreme amounts of revenue. If somebody wrote a joke about it, the WNBA wanted what their just pay was, and so they owe $400 million, because that's really how it balances out. It's like a losing it's never been profitable.
Do you know what those things, but like it's like you're helping the one to hurt the many in so many things too. It's just like that video Shane showed me this years ago, the blind kid playing football. It's like a little boy playing Pop Warner football and he's blind. And I'm like, who's this for? Like, you know, it's like,
who's this for?
It's like, why is he letting you do that?
Who is this for?
Is it Daredevil?
And the kid gives a speech. In the video, he gives a speech and he goes, a lot of people say blind people can't play football. And you're like, yeah, everybody. And you've never seen this video? This is maybe my favorite video on the internet.
Please
blind
pull it
football,
up, Joe.
Jamie, if you could.
Joe, please.
It's
see this.
30-second video. The song they picked for this is the greatest thing in the world.
It's just one of those things where it's like, I agree. It's like, who is this for? What are you setting your child up for? Because it's an unrealistic thing, but also it's dangerous. It's not safe for them. It can become detrimental to the other children in the way that like you have this child on the field. So now the other children can't play to their highest ability because now everybody's worried about hurting this child who genuinely is not on the same playing field as everybody else. It's like, he's at a much greater disadvantage without vision for a game that your vision is literally needed. And if the child can play football, that is an incredible thing, right? Because again, this is a child who was taught he can do anything he wants to do. But I agree. It's like, I mean, and it is a Pop Warner league. So it's not like, you know, they're pushing the kid to go to the NFL or whatever. But it's just, I don't know. I just think sometimes they're like, are you hurting the children more than you're helping them? Are you setting this child up to be bullied? Are you setting this child up to be injured? Are you setting this child up to have expectations to be able to go on and play football in high school or in a higher level, a collegiate level, and then they find out they can't because you're just like, you can do whatever you want. It's like, no, literally nobody is going to allow that to happen outside of rec league football. Oh, I'm just a very realistic parent. Like as a parent, I am not selling my child for. I was just having this conversation literally yesterday and today. My youngest, he's a toddler, but he's not super clingy. Like he's lovey and like can get clingy in the house, but like he has no problem being left at like the child care center at church or the child care center at the Y. He doesn't go to daycare, but like he is not freaking out if I step away from him. He'll literally run away from me and like never look back. And my daughter was the same way. And it's because I just was never this overbearing, like baby talking, kind of like fantasy driven parent. Like I always instill in my kids like real ideas and like, you are limitless, but the world has limits. And sometimes you have to answer to those limits. You have to respect those limits, but you can do whatever, you know what I mean? You are capable of reaching any height you want to, but the world operates different and people operate differently. And I just think, you know, some of us are raising our kids to be really, really soft and very fragile. And some of us are raising our children to be the exact opposite. A little off topic, but not so much. We're talking about a blind kid playing football.
The world.
Please, are they going to find this video?
So here's the thing about like the WNBA. If you love the WNBA, that's great. There's a certain amount of people that love the WNBA. It's great that women have an avenue for professional sports. But you only get paid as much as people are willing to go to see you. And if they're not willing to go to see you, I'm sorry.
Because they want to see dunks.
This kid's blind.
It's that kind of confidence that continues to amaze people who watch Dylan play.
Oh, this is so crazy.
He's like actually blind.
Oh, this is so crazy.
I can't see, and a lot of people think that a blind person can't play football.
But this courageous youngster has proven those people wrong. On the
The music is not real.
You can't play football by smell? That's impossible.
So crazy.
But it's again, it's like what you're actually doing is making this game not fun for anybody else.
That's what I'm saying. You've not only have you like made everyone watching be on pins and needles, but these kids can't even play the game for real. Because if they knock him out, they're wrong. Right. And if they don't play to their full, they're like, don't treat him any differently. Like you're these poor children. The song choice, chef's kiss.
But it's again, it's like what you're actually doing is making this game not fun for anybody else out there.
Right. You can't hit the blind kid.
No one's going to hit the blind kid. And if you do, you're a dick.
You're just running around so you have one less player, for real. It's just like your team has decided to be on a handicap so you can get on the news.
We used to play basketball on a story every Wednesday. And Nate Bargatze one time brought his friend Nick Novicki, who's a little person, comedian, and he brought him, and we were like, oh, he's going to play? Like, all right, I guess. And we let him play, and every time he'd get the ball, the defense would lay off him and let him shoot, and he'd make it or miss it, but it was what it was. And then he started, when everyone would lay off on defense, instead of shooting the ball, he'd try to like run in and like do a layup, and we're letting him. Until eventually Nate Bargatze, of all people, goes over and just cleaned his shot right into like the projects. He just sent away. He's like, we can't just let this happen the whole time. It becomes not fun for everybody. Right. It was when I was a kid, I remember very few stories, but there was a handful of like the girl that fought to get on the men's football team. Yeah. Football's such a violent sport that to let girls play it, they have to put them in lingerie. The lingerie football league is the only.
Listen, I agree. I agree about the WNBA thing. For those of you that don't know, my husband and my mother-in-law are women's basketball coaches, and this has been a long term. None of us. The reality is, like, we all understand. Like before Caitlyn and Angel Reese and all that stuff, like nobody was watching the WNBA. We were, but nobody else was watching the WNBA. Nobody was interested. And it is one of those things, like the money that's coming in is the money that's going to go out. The WNBA has never turned a profit, right? We know this. And what they do have is on behalf of the NBA that makes more money. I mean, there are more teams, there are more fans, there are bigger venues, there's like more merch, there's more everything. There's more activities surrounding the NBA. So it's just like, it's just common sense, and it really has nothing to do with the fact that it's women. It's about the money machine. Their money machine is not bringing in as much money as the men's money machine. It just is a fact. Will that change one day? Very much possibly. Will it take some time? very much for sure. I also agree with this football thing. First of all, football is the most barbaric sport. I'm sorry. My husband and I talk about this all the time. Like, he played football for a few seasons and he told his parents, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you have to be a very special child, I think, to enjoy football. Like, for real, for real. Like, it is barbaric. It is so violent. And for women to want to play it, I mean, to each her own. But girl, why? Why? So much so that, like this gentleman just said, they made an entire professional league for women to play it in lingerie. I know 2 girls who play in that league, or who had played in that league. It's just like, you see? But men and women are equal. Men are not out there playing in their boxers, girls. Child. I don't even want to see these men knocking each other out. I'm not a football girly. Shout out to everyone that is, and still go Dogs. But I'm not a football girly because I don't want to see these men like pounding on each other. Why would I want to see a woman doing that? I don't know. It's just me, and I am a woman. If you didn't know,
That to let girls play it, they have to put them in lingerie. But the lingerie football league is the only visible women playing
still
football
around?
sport.
for sure.
I don't know, but I wanted to start taking like bets on it.
That was a thing, right? At one point in time.
It was a big
Oh yeah,
thing
and they
at
hit
one
hard. They hit
Roller
hard.
derby.
Never saw roller derby live.
Roller derby's
There's
like-
also buns in basketball where they have morbidly
No.
obese black chicks wear thongs and play basketball.
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
But roller derby's like
Let's
more
buy a team.
like a really
Let's buy a
hardcore
team.
lesbian type activity, right?
oh yeah.
I would imagine.
I would assume, yeah.
I'm
Really
Googling
get
to
this.
banging
I'm
the
sorry.
chicks.
Buns and
Hardcore dyke
basketball.
bar girls with fucking weird tattoos.
And there's like some element of wrestling
It
to it
popped
also.
right
It's
up.
like not fully real.
Very aggressive. Oh, they slam into each other. They get fucking crazy.
No. Y'all, they have tickets on Eventbrite. Please look at the logo. Please look at the logo. Well, he was wrong about morbidly obese. They're not morbidly obese. They are just big black women, meaning curvy, voluptuous. No one is morbid. Some of them have BBLs. I don't like that he called, okay, maybe some of them are. I was about to say, I don't like they call them morbid. And then I looked at it. This is not safe for work, so I'm not putting it on the camera. But exactly what he just said. I mean, some of them, you can't even see their undergarments because their buns are swallowing. This is nuts. I'm about to send this to my husband on Instagram. He's going to be like, what are you reacting to? What is this? There are 2 people I know that are following this page. Unacceptable, gentlemen. Buns and basketball, baby oil wrestling. Certain things I just never needed to
Real.
know in life.
Very aggressive. Oh, they slam into each other. They get fucking crazy.
Lingerie football, if you look up lingerie football's biggest hits, it's nuts
It's
what
not
they've done.
lingerie, but I saw that they made a deal for something to air on ESPN2 this year. This is like a women's tackle
Really?
football league.
Oh,
This is
really?
the championship game from last
Wait a
year.
minute.
Oh,
These
no
two chicks?
lingerie.
Yeah.
Come on.
Go back.
Well,
that was a hell of a play.
Her arms are long. Look at
Whoa.
that reach.
That's
A
nuts.
30, 40-yard pass.
These are women.
Caught it.
Oh
What?
my God. That's crazy.
Perhaps I'm eating my words. The
Yeah, they
ref
look
was
pretty
running
good.
kind of funny.
What?
Look at the ref running in
Whoa.
this one.
That's nuts.
Look at the
30,
ref.
40-yard
Look at the
pass.
ref.
Caught it.
What?
Oh my
Look, look.
God. That's crazy. Yeah, they look pretty good.
Yeah.
This looks better than WNBA. Maybe they found it. Maybe women's tackle football is what's up. Because you're going to see a lot of tackles,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I don't know if they get jacked up like they do in the NFL or anything, but
Well, they have to. They're running into each other.
here's
Well, here's what's funny about this.
That's a hit.
These hits are
That's
pretty
wild.
good, but they're wearing actual football
Right.
pads. Lingerie football's biggest hits are they're wearing shoulder.
Bikinis.
Yeah, they're wearing shoulder
Shoulder
pads
pads
and
and
lingerie. They look like
helmets.
the fucking the Legion of Doom. They fucking used to come out. Yeah,
This is it.
dude, they wail each
Not the
other.
flag.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Well,
And
I
titties
have- I
never
know
come
2
out.
girls.
that's great. They must have the thing strapped down. That's ouch.
It's like these pileups are crazy.
How
And
much staph infection is coming out of these fucking things?
Ew.
I'm seeing a lot of staph. I'm seeing a lot of staph happen in the future of these ladies.
I mean, they blast each other into the
You're gonna
sides.
get scratched up bad. You're gonna get staph for sure. Whoa!
But I will
right
say,
up the butt.
the
This
fact
is-
you get 22 girls on a
kinda-
field who are not fighting the idea of like, oh, so we just got to dress like sluts to play football. They just
Right.
go, yeah, we'll dress like sluts and play football.
fuck it.
Why are they shamed?
Why
And
are
buns
they
and
shamed?
if you find buns in basketball,
It's the same
we
kind
should
of
buy a
deal.
Are they
franchise,
gonna
dude.
pull
I'll
up
go
buns
halvesies
in
with you.
basketball? Right?
Jesus Christ.
Then I don't have to do the dirty work.
Oh my God. There's a couple of BBLs in there.
Actually, see if you could find the
Didn't I
buns in
say it?
basketball leg break. There's a girl who fucking she has
don't
a
show
Paul
me.
George like fucking leg break because she's just fat.
I want y'all to know that Paul George leg break lives in my head rent free. I talk about it more than I probably should admit. Like, I will never forget the day. I didn't see the actual game, but I saw the replay on like ESPN the next day, and like rent free, that thing lives in my head. And I talk to my husband about it all the time. I can't even ever see Paul George without like just being like, oh, that right there. Oh, sweet mother of God. I'm sorry.
Leg break. There's a girl who fucking she has
don't
a
show
Paul
me.
George like fucking leg break just because she's just fat and she just falls under the weight of her dribbling.
How bad is it?
It's great.
It's
crazy.
pretty gnarly. It's not the worst I've ever seen. It's not Tom Segura's arm bad,
Oh, that
but
was
it's
a bad
close.
one.
That was bad.
What happened to Tom Segura?
It's because when he pulls it back and it's flopped. It's the Anderson Silva retracting the flopped leg. You know,
his arm still is fucked. It's
Tom's?
Still not, it's still not 100%.
Oh, I'd have to
His
assume.
grip is
What
still
don't
fucked
I
up.
know?
He had a bunch of nerve surgeries and shit.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Dude.
And
Imagine
if anyone was
popped.
playing defense.
Maybe they're just going for a layup. It
Oh,
just
yeah, here we
pops.
go.
Please don't show
Oh,
this
no,
video.
no,
Please
no,
don't
no,
show
no,
this
no.
video. I'm with
Yep.
Joe. I'm with Joe. I'm with Joe.
Yep.
I'm with Joe. Oh, good. They didn't show
God,
it.
it just snaps.
Okay, good. They didn't show
For
it.
buns and basketball of all things.
Oh, it just snapped.
Please
Oh,
don't
my
show
God.
it. Please don't show it.
Hey, I can tell it's going to rain tomorrow. How do you know that? Oh, buns and basketball injury.
Bro, those are bad injuries. The femur's a real bad one.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. They didn't show that. This was a funny conversation. I thought it was going to be a lot more serious. Listen, I have my very strong opinions on this as someone who is an athlete. My whole family is an athlete, and I just like men and women are not built the same. That's not how God built us. Or if you don't believe in God and you believe in science, it's not how science built us. Okay, that is not the way it's meant to be. And if everybody would just like calm down and just be the best version of them, it wouldn't even matter. Anywho, I actually really like this conversation. I learned a lot. I'm about to go send my husband the link to Buns in Basketball, and if he tells me that he's seen it before, he's going to be in big trouble. Okay, just kidding. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Be kind as always to yourself and everyone around you, and go and have the day you deserve. Goodbye.